We're going to start now, page 88. Put it up over here. And here is a hardware store clerk keeping track of purchases over a 5-hour period. Now, there were three basic kinds of purchase: tools, something containing paint, and electrical products of some type, and other hardware products that make, in a sense, a fourth category, but basically we're going to work with these three. Now, I have this all written up on the next page, and we'll get back to answer these questions in a little while. Now, as we set this up, we said there's going to be three categories. So we're going to have tools, in which it'll be 83. Purchase at least a tool. Paints, 101. And then electrical down here. And that was 22. Now, as we mentioned in our lecture, that when you are doing something like this, it's best to start in the innermost part where you have intersection of everything. And it's saying that there were 6 that had all three. So we can put our 6 right there for all three. Now what we start to do is look at how many had both a tool and paint. Well, tool and paint. And I put the wrong letter there. That should be the paint. So there were 31. Now if there's 31, and I'll put this up here lightly here, that had both tool and paint, and 6 of them are already down here, we have to subtract the 6 from the 31, and that'll give us then 25 that just had the tool and the paint. So I will erase now the 31. Together, this is 31. Now we're going to look at the T and the E. The T and the E, there were 8, but so if we take away the 6 from here, from the 8, that will leave us here with 2. So we'll erase that and put a 2 there. Now the P and the E, they were 10, but there were 6 here, so it's going to be 10 minus 6 will give me 4. So again, using the technique that we mentioned in our textbook, by starting with the innermost and then working out, we can sort of trim our numbers. Now we want to find out how many just purchase a tool. Well, these all purchased a tool, but other things, so we have to subtract this from our 83. And this adds up to 33. So 33 from 83 gives me a 50 here. And going to this side, we had 101, but here we have to subtract these now from our 101, and this is going to be 35 from 101 is 66, and here we have to subtract this from the 22, that's 12, so this now gives us 10. Okay, Now we're going to start answering our questions here. The question, and they're on the other page, and you can see them in your booklet. How many bought paint only? Well, it jumps right out. 66. Only paint. For number 2, tools only. Again, jumps out. 50. Electric only. It's this right here, 10. Now, for number 4, we're wondering, for number 4 is how many bought tools or electric. Well, there's our tool number right there. And since it's an or statement, it's a union. And our electric is 22, which is right there. But now we have to subtract those that were already counted. See, these were counted already. So we subtract the 8 and we get then for 4, 97. And then for question 5, how many in all? Well, we know if we did all of this, this is going to be 83. Now here we have to add our 66 and 4 that we haven't counted yet, so that would be a 70. And then we have to add our 10 that we haven't counted yet. And we are forgetting about the other, which is not involved here, but is 34. And this gives us a grand total then of 197. Now it took me a while to do this, setting it all up and figuring it out. I've done it ahead of time, so I'm showing you so you have it as a reference. Now for example 2, you're going to go up over here to a link because I've done example 2 all by itself. Number 2 I did in a similar way to what we've just done. I made a little listing of this, made my Venn diagram, and then filled it in, and then of course answered these questions. And the link of this is up over here. In example 3, we're going to do contingency tables and list the cross tabulation of numbers of business partnerships by industry and whether partnerships had a net income or net loss for 2008. Now, part of what we're going to do here is to understand what they're asking. I had to spend some time sort of translating it. So for letter A, we're doing set B in union with set C. Well, what is set B? Well, B here would be the sum of these three when they're added up, and I did this ahead of time, is 210,000. We're now going to have that in union with letter C. And letter C now, we have to bring these two together but since we already included this in B column, we're only going to add this part of C. So we're not adding this again, just this. And this will give us then, for our contingency value of 301, or 301,000. That is for letter A here. All right, now let's look at B. B will be F complement. So we're going to look at F. So this is what F is. So F complement would be these four up here. And when we add them together, we get 223,000. That is what F complement is. This is F. So the complement is everything but F. All right, let's look at C. We're asked to have C that intersects with B. So as we look at C, there's C, it is these two. So I'm showing this is C. And we're going to intersect that with B, which is this. So of this, what intersects? Well, put it in blue, this and this. So the intersection of these is 90,000. And then we have our last one that we've worked on before, this type, C in union with W in parentheses. So we have to do this first, and it's going to intersect with A. So we'll do it in pieces. Now this is C. So we're going to add these two together. This is W. Add those two together, and we get a sum total of this. So this is C union with W. Now we're going to intersect that with A, and it was these two that we're dealing with, C and W. Adding these together, we get 113,000. Now we're looking for the intersection of that. Well, these are the two that actually intersect, similarly to what we've done here. So your answer is 113,000 is your answer for letter, I guess we're here at D. We did C already. Okay, well this wraps us up. We'll keep this one a little short too.